If you are thinking about moving to the Cedar City area, these questions are the ones you are going to want to know the answers to, and I'm going to give them to you coming up. We obviously have 4 seasons, which is one of my favorite parts of living here. They're fairly mild compared to some other places, but we do have 4 distinct seasons. So we are considered high desert. Our winter starts usually around the end of November, goes into February. We'll have several storms throughout the year, typically 1 to 4 inches, give or take. Although last year was a very unusual year and we had a lot of snow, which we really needed, and so we're grateful for that. The average coldest temperatures is about 18 degrees at night, and it usually warms up in the daytime. It can get into the 50s. Lots of super lovely blue sky in the wintertime, and of course you can go up to Brain Head and take advantage of all of the fabulous wintertime activities up there. We actually get snow often into March and April, although the temperatures do start to definitely warm up in those months. Spring starts at mid-March and usually goes through May or June. So in the spring, you can expect lows in the 30s, highs maybe in the 60s. We might pop up to, maybe low 70s, but 30s to 60s most of the time. Spring will also bring precipitation. We will have either snow showers, or if it's warm enough, we might have some rain, which is always fabulous. One thing you need to do for sure if you're going to be in this area in the spring is go to Cedar Breaks area and look at the wildflowers. It is really spectacular, and the wildflowers actually go like through the end of June. It's really, really a cool experience. Summer here is going to be June, July, August, and headed into September. Highs are probably going to be in the 70s into the 80s. We do get into the 90s. Typically it'll be in the low 90s. We don't usually get really high into the 90s, and we rarely get over 100. Occasionally in August, occasionally we might hit 100, but it's usually mid-90s for the high. It does cool off incredibly well in the evenings, and that is one of my very favorite parts. You can sit out on the back deck, and in the summertime it just cools off so nicely. It is really beautiful. So you're gonna have monsoon rains late July and into August, and those are those great afternoon thunderstorms that'll come through. It's pretty fun. All right, fall. Save the best for last. I don't know, I like winter too, and I like spring, and I like summer. Fall's pretty cool though. End of September into like mid-November is really our fall season. Average temperatures are 60s for the high, probably in the 40s for the low. Not a lot of precipitation in the fall typically, but if you haven't been to southern Utah in the fall, you really need to put that on your list. We've got the most incredible colors. You've got the yellows, the reds, the oranges. It's just absolutely beautiful. So I have here a fact sheet from the Kempsey Gardner Policy Institute. If you haven't heard of that, it's a think tank at the University of Utah. So they put out a table of national rankings and how Utah ranks, and then all of the cities in Utah. My latest statistics on growth are from 2022, because 2023 isn't done yet. So if we look at Cedar City, they're saying in 2022 we had a population of almost 39,000. That's just in Cedar City proper. If you look at countywide, it's over 50,000. We obviously did have population growth, because we've had population growth every single year for a long time, but it's at 3.6%, which is slightly lower than it has been, but still pretty healthy. That's sort of a sustainable growth model, 3.6%. So the answer to the question, how fast are we growing? We're growing about 3.6% annually. I get a lot of questions from folks about the local schools. So let me take you through some of the opportunities that are here in our local schools. There's 9 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, 5 high schools. In the elementary schools, there's a couple of pretty cool programs. At Fiddler's Elementary, there's a Chinese immersion program. So you can enroll your student in this immersion program, and it goes for several years throughout their elementary school participation. At East Elementary, there is a Spanish immersion program. So you can enroll your student in a Spanish immersion program that follows the same kind of curriculum, where they're involved in that program for several years during their elementary school years. So there's 2 middle schools. There's Canyon View Middle and Cedar Middle School. And then there's 2 brick and mortar type high schools. There's Canyon View High and Cedar High. I have parents ask me which one is better. They both have really great programs, so I always just tell people call the school and talk to them. Go onto the district website and find out which is going to be a better fit for your kid. Now, they are divided by school boundaries geographically. That's also an important consideration when you're moving here. If you've got kids that are in school, you may want to look at the schools and decide which is going to be a good fit for your student, and then we can get you into a place that corresponds with that. There's a few really cool programs associated with the local high schools. So the first one that I want to tell you about is called Success Academy. And then the second one is called Launch. Both of these integrate with the existing high schools, and then your student can go to either one of these for several hours during the day. So at Success Academy, this is an early college high school, and your student will actually graduate from Success Academy with their high school diploma and an associate's degree. So how cool is that? It's a pretty intense academic structure, but a great fit for a lot of kids. Okay, so another cool opportunity for students, if this is a good fit, is called Launch High School. Launch High School offers students unique learning experiences with the chance to develop career-building skills within an experiential hands-on environment focused on entrepreneurship and personalized competency-based education. So Launch High School has a more entrepreneurial type focus. So if this is a great fit for your student, either Launch or Success, check out those programs because they're pretty cool. The other thing I think is really important to mention here is Southwest Technical College. They offer all kinds of certifications. For example, my daughter, when she was in high school here, she went to Southwest Tech and got her CNA license. They do truck driving, they do phlebotomy, they do welding, all kinds of different certifications. So if a certification program is going to be a better fit for your student, I really, really encourage you to check out Southwest Tech. It's a post-high school technical college, very affordable, and they've got some amazing opportunities there. The cool thing is the credits from Southwest Tech will transfer back and forth with the university. So Southern Utah University and Southwest Tech have a partnership. So your student could take classes at both, and it's just a very, very cool partnership. And then of course, Southern Utah University is a huge part of our community, and we're just so proud of our university. So if you are interested in either of those, please check them out, and I'm happy to provide additional information as well. We just love our colleges. All right, let's talk about the economy in Cedar City and the surrounding area. There's some really cool stuff going on. So year over year change in the, we gained 839 jobs in the last 12 months. I think that is very cool. So our job growth in Iron County is 3.6% compared to the state of Utah, which is 2.9%. That's a pretty healthy job growth for this area. Our unemployment, you guys, is 2.7%. Full employment. If you come to this area and you want to work, you will be able to find a job. So just by comparison, unemployment in Iron County is 2.7%. The state of Utah is 2.6%. Nationally, it's 3.8%. So Utah is doing great. Iron County is doing great. Cedar City is doing great as far as and job growth in the area. So that's a pretty exciting statistic, I think. One statistic that we need to continue to work on in this area is actually wages. Iron County wages have historically been a little low. We are working on changing that by adding some really good high-paying jobs in the manufacturing sector. We've talked about Port 15 before. Huge, huge deal, huge benefit to this area. It's going to create hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jobs over the next few years, and they're going to be great high-paying manufacturing jobs. So if you want to come to this area and work, we can find a great spot for you. Now, if you are the kind of person who wants to come here and start your own business, let me tell you how exciting this is. There was an article done by a publication called Wallet Hub. I don't know if you've heard of that. Wallet Hub did a study on areas in the country that are supportive of entrepreneurs and starting a new business. And I'm going to give you some quotes from this article because they're super cool. The first one is, size matters when choosing a city in which to launch a startup. bigger is not always better. A city with a smaller population can offer a greater chance of success depending on the entrepreneur's business type and personal preferences. Some benefits of starting a business in a smaller town include lower overhead costs, which you will definitely find here, stronger relationships with customers, which you are 100% going to find here, and potential to become a big fish in a little pond. So Wallet Hub compared the business friendliness of 1,300 small-sized cities across the country using 18 different metrics. Guess where Cedar City came out, you guys? Cedar City came out number 3, not in the state, in the country. Cedar City is the 3rd best small city in the country to start a business. That's a huge deal. When this article came out, I was so excited. It's just a very cool thing. There's all kinds of fantastic resources if you are interested in moving here and starting a business, or if you're already here and you're interested in starting a business, I can connect you with some of the most just tremendous resources to help you get started. It really is a great area with a very supportive population for our local business owners. So if that is something you want to try out, let's do it. Now, I get asked a lot about the rental market from the perspective of the landlord, the investor. How is the rental market here? As you know, we manage both short-term and long-term rentals, and I can tell you it is still very healthy. Of course, rents went up here like they did everywhere over the last few years. We have hit a bit of a plateau. So rents aren't going up the way they did. They kind of peaked and then they came down just a little bit, but they're still obviously far higher than they were, when we started a few years ago. The rental market is still strong. I'm seeing slightly increased number of days before we get another tenant in there in the long-term rental space, but we're still able to get some pretty good returns. And as far as the appreciation, I think this is a great time if you want to invest in the area because prices have come down slightly. So if you want to talk about investing, what that looks like, cash flow appreciation, tax benefits, I love having this conversation. So if that is a space that you want to get into, or if you're already in it and you want to expand, let me know. I would love to talk through that with you. Short-term rentals. Now, we've only recently gotten into managing short-term rentals. We've been doing it for about a year and it's been fabulous. So if you are interested in short-term rentals, this is a great solution if you want a second home here and be able to block it off. You or your family, your folks can come and stay, and then you can get some cash flow when you're not here. It works out great for so many of our short-term rental owners, and I would again love to talk you through that. What are the opportunities? We manage a ton of them up in Bryan Head. That's a really great opportunity. If you want a condo or a cabin in Bryan Head, get some cash flow, and then you guys can come and stay there. You can block it off whenever your family wants to be there. We also manage some really high-end properties where the cash flow on those is actually pretty dang good. So if you have questions about long-term rentals, if you have questions about short-term rentals, again, I love having those conversations, love helping investors work through that math, and we can determine whether it's going to be a great fit for you or not. So hit me up. I would love to talk to you about investing in this area. We can't leave this video without talking about all of the cool things that there are to do here. So I get asked, what do people do? Like, what is there fun to do in Cedar City and Iron County? And it's like, okay, if you come here and you are bored, that is on you. That is not on me, because there is so much going on, and I don't care what season you're here, there is always something cool to do. So let's kind of do a little rundown here. First of all, you've got to check out our historic downtown. This is such a great destination. You've got dining, you've got shopping, you've got museums, you've got art galleries, you've got an old-fashioned soda fountain, just so much to offer in our downtown area. It's so much fun. Right in our downtown area on 300 West is my personal favorite, Southern Utah Museum of Art. So if you're in the area, please visit SUMA. They've got just world-class exhibits. It's just incredible, the exhibits that they are putting on. Okay, Utah Shakespeare Festival, of course, that is what we are known for, the Tony Award winning Shakespeare Festival. The season runs from June through like the first part of October. If you haven't taken in some of these absolutely stunning productions, you've got to put that on your list. So please come to the area, check out the Shakespeare Festival, and while you're here, you can take in the Green Show. It's right next to SUMA, it's on campus. Just some great opportunity for entertainment if you like that sort of thing, which you should, because it's very cool. And this is especially if you've got kiddos. Take them to the Frontier Homestead Museum. There's a ton of like pioneer artifacts, Wells Fargo stagecoach. So check out the Frontier Homestead State Park Museum. It's very cool. Also, this is something that is kind of growing in popularity. We have a handful of working farms that allow tours, and it is really, really fun. There's Nature Hills Farm, there's Red Acre Farm, and there is Sweet Pea Farm and Orchard in Parowan. You can just go to these farms. They've all got farmsteads. You can purchase the stuff that they grow and bake and bottle and preserve on the farm at the farmstead at each of these 3 locations. It's really a unique experience. So if you haven't done that, check out those 3 working farms in the area. It's one of my favorite places to take folks from out of town. It's really fun. Now, if you want to go outside, and I know you do because that is why so many people come to this area, let's just talk about all of the outdoor recreation opportunities that are available to you. So, Cedar Breaks Monument, their new visitor center, should be finished this coming year. So be sure and put that on your list. Cedar Breaks is absolutely stunning. There's several different hiking trails in Cedar Breaks. If you haven't done those, definitely check out those hiking trails. Super fun. If you haven't been to the Parowan Gap and seen the petroglyphs, so the Parowan Gap has petroglyphs that date back to the Fremont Indians, and you just drive up, park your car, and you can just go walk around and look at these. It's absolutely incredible. They're just right there in the rocks. So if you haven't done that, it's just a little bit west of Parowan. Definitely put that on your list. If you want to take a scenic drive, I hope you saw the video that we did about the fall colors going up Highway 14 and then cutting across to Highway 143. That drive is beautiful any time of the year. They do block off the access from 14 over to 143 in the wintertime because there's snowmobiling. So if you want to come here and go snowmobiling, there's just miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of open space in the forest where you can go snowmobiling. Of course, you've got skiing, you've got snowboarding at Bryan Head, snow tubing at Bryan Head, snowshoeing all over the area. It's just anything you guys want to do outdoors, we have the opportunity. If you like ATVing, miles and miles and miles of ATVs. You can rent them, you can go on a guided tour, you could bring your own. Just so many fabulous opportunities. There's just so much cool stuff to see. And of course, mountain biking. We are really becoming a mecca for mountain biking. Hundreds of miles of mountain biking trails. We've got competitions that go throughout the summer. It's really fun. So come to this area, especially if you like the outdoors, especially if you like the arts. We have got something that is going to be a great fit for you. Do you have questions about the area that I can answer for you? We're going to make this into a series. So let me know what questions you have, drop it in the comments, and I will pick up those questions and we'll do another video and answer everything that you want to know. Thank you for being here. We'll see you soon.